You know, there's something that nobody warns you about when you hit 45. It's something that just quietly creeps in. It's not a health scare, and it's not something financial. It's something far more personal. It hit me a few years ago, standing on the beach where I'm going right now. It's the kind of moment where the tide's going out, the world feels quiet, and you're left alone with your own thoughts. And in that moment, I realised that this is the thing nobody prepares you for. So let's talk about it. There's a moment in your mid-40s where life stops speeding forward and starts to catch up to you, and nobody warns you about it. One day you wake up and you realise that you've become the person that younger you used to look at and think, wow, that's a proper adult. You know, they must have everything in their life sorted. But you still don't feel sorted. You feel as though you're still trying to figure everything out. But you now realise that there's less time to get it right. It's very jarring, and it's also very humbling. But it's weird because it's also quite freeing at the same time. It's the first truth nobody warns you about after 45. Your circle shrinks fast. It's not because people fall out with you. It's not because you've become a hermit. It's because life pulls people in all directions. Some friends move, some drift into work or family, some move away, some drift, some struggle, and some just fade out without so much as a goodbye. And suddenly you realise the people that once filled your world, well, they aren't really in it anymore. You know, it can make you feel lonely, even when you're not alone. Nobody warns you about that. Another truth when you get into your mid-40s is that you suddenly realise that there's a weight pressing down on you of an unlived life. And this one's a big one. After 45, you start to feel the weight of the life that you didn't live. And it's not regrets, although, to be fair, they're part of it. It's more subtle than that. It's the opportunities that you didn't take, those adventures that you postponed, the version of yourself that you shelved because life got busy. You become aware that you don't have infinite time to reinvent yourself anymore. The window that you thought would open again, you realise it doesn't fully reopen anymore. And nobody prepares you for that realisation. You know, they tell you to slow down, they tell you to act your age, but they don't tell you how heavy it feels when the things that you want start to feel further away than ever. The truth is the quiet battle that you have with your body. Your body really does start to send you messages that your mind would rather not receive. You just ignore them, push them to one side, feel invincible, feel like you're still in your 20s, even though you know you're not. You don't recover as quick as you once did. Your body tires more quicker. Little aches linger a little bit longer. You know, you start to instinctively calculate how close the nearest toilet is, which is a fun little side quest for us men. Nobody warns you about this shift from invincible to repairing. It's not tragic and it's not dramatic. It's just real. It's just life. It forces you to finally listen to yourself in ways that you haven't for decades. But here's another part that nobody ever warns you about. Your values completely rearrange themselves. Things that you thought mattered in life suddenly don't. Things that you always ignored suddenly become front and centre. Your patience for nonsense disappears, and your tolerance for toxic people shrinks to zero. Your desire for peace in this life, it skyrockets. You start craving simplicity, stillness, truth, the right people, not more people. This emotional realignment, it hits quietly, but I'll tell you, it does hit hard. But there's some good news that nobody tells you either. And this is an interesting part to talk about because it's not all doom and gloom once you get into your mid-40s, midlife. Life after 45 can be the most honest, grounding and powerful chapter of your life that you've ever had. See the world much, much clearer. You know yourself better than ever, and you care less about being impressive and more about being real, being in the moment. You appreciate those small wins, a good coffee, a great walk along a beach, a drink shared with a good friend on an evening, putting the world to rights, reminiscing about memories. These are all suddenly up front and centre, burning bright as special reasons to think that life is suddenly bright, colourful and worth living. You rediscover parts of yourself that you'd buried, and you finally understand what matters and what never did. Nobody warns you about the hard parts, but nobody tells you how freeing this phase can be either. So yes, nobody warns you about the loneliness, the shrinking circle, the aching joints, the fading ambitions, the shifting values, but nobody warns you about the beauty in it either. Finally learn how to live, how to breathe, how to let go. Start again, properly this time. So if this little walk along the beach tonight has resonated with you, let's start a discussion. Let me know in the comments. I really would like to know what you think about the things I've just said, especially if you're in your mid-40s or even in your early 50s, late 50s. They're the thing you wish somebody warned you about after 45. And if you enjoyed this video today, you might like to watch this one next on how I stopped fearing getting older. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, keep wondering and keep wandering. I think I'll go and have a coffee. Back very quickly just to say, I know I'm currently stuck in what's called, to us on YouTube, us in the know, us who've done a lot of research, I'm in what's called small channel hell, where YouTube doesn't know where to place the content I'm doing. As much as I'd like to just meander up and down the beach every day, spitballing my mind out to you and talking about the first thing that pops into this head of mine, that's going to do me nor the channel any good whatsoever, and I'll stay hidden. I may as well just come down onto the beach and just record nothing, because YouTube won't push it out. So to add some more meaning and some more useful value to these videos, from now on I'm going to make them all very relatable to people in the 40s and the 50s. I'm going to talk a lot about my own life experiences rather than just talking about absolutely nothing, which to be fair I do quite enjoy doing. But if I want to make a success of YouTube, if I really want to turn the corner here and break out of the prison of small channel hell, I've got to do something about it. I've got to get intentional, I've got to get serious and stop messing around. So from now on, every video that I'm going to record and is going to come out is going to have meaning, value and purpose. And then if YouTube doesn't place me when I start doing that, I give up. I don't know what else to do, because I'll have been on this path for 2 years now, and in 2 years I've been extremely stubborn about what I want to do. I just assumed that if I put myself out there, people would watch. That's not the case at all. You have got to offer your value. You have to have a value proposition that's going to allow others to come and watch you. You have to have an ability, a skill, something that makes people want to come and watch your channel. Whether it's my personality, whether it's what I feel like I'm saying, because it's certainly not my looks. So whatever it is, I need to find it. I need to find my mojo that's going to make people come back again and again and watch the videos, these episodes that I'm putting onto my YouTube channel here. So one can but try these things, and I'm a bit like Thomas Edison in that respect. If it doesn't work first time, I just keep trying and trying and trying, and then I'll try again. What did he famously say? I haven't failed, I've just found 1,000 ways that do not work. A little bit like me with YouTube. I'll see you on my next video. You can come now if you want.